My feet are flat on the floor. I have the band just above my knees. My toes are pointed outward so I can externally rotate. I'm gonna drop from my squat, bending at the knees, the ankles, and the hips. I'm gonna go as low as I can go. Really focusing on pushing my knees outward, and I'm really trying to not let the tightness of the band allow my knees to cave into what? Knee valgus. Why? Because we don't want the stress on those ligaments in there. So, pushing those knees out, down in my squat. I'm gonna come up, squeeze my glutes at the top. I'll turn to the side. So again, my feet are flat on the floor the entire time. Toes are pointed out. I'm gonna bend at the hips, at the knees, and at the ankles. I'm gonna go as low as I can go, pushing my knees outward, away from each other. And then I'm gonna stand, squeezing my glutes on the way up, and fire it. And I'm gonna drop down, push my knees out, as deep as I can go, feet still flat on the floor. And then extend everything on the way up. Squeeze the glutes at the top. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go for some banded marching. I'm gonna start with the forward march. So, I'm gonna line my feet, find my stance. My stance, my feet are about hip or shoulder width apart, whatever is comfortable to me. Specifically for this exercise, we're gonna keep those toes pointed outward. Why? Because we wanna activate those glutes. What do the glutes work? External rotation. So we're gonna externally rotate. So toes pointed outward, knees are pointed outward, creating resistance against that band. So for our marching, let's say I give you two $100 bills, Benjamins, one in each hand. You're gonna take those bills and you're gonna put them in the crease of your hips. And when you come for your position, you should be able to hold those $100 bills there in that position throughout the entire movement. Because if you start to lose position, you drop those $100 bills. And then guess what? You added $200. Now you broke. You don't want that. So, Benjamins in hand. Put them in the crease of your hips. Hold it there, nice and tight. Hips externally rotated. Knees pushed out against that resistance band, creating tension. You're gonna baby step. Baby step forward. Baby step forward. Keeping that crease in my hips. Keeping the bend in my knees. Keeping those knees pointed outward. Baby step, baby step, baby step. Keep walking it forward with the baby steps. Keeping those $100 bills in the crease of my hips. I'm baby stepping, baby stepping. You will feel the burn in that ass, but you're gonna love it at the end, bro. You're gonna love it. Next, we're gonna go for sideways marching. So for this one, again, you're still gonna have Benjamins, those Benjis in hand. Put that in the crease of your hips and hold them there throughout the entire movement. Knees pointed outward. You're still baby stepping. Even when I step, my knees are still pointed outwards and I'm not letting that band take over. That's the point of this exercise. Keep those knees externally rotated. Keep that ass activated. If I'm heading in that direction, that means my right leg is my back leg. You want your back leg to move first in this motion specifically. So, nice solid stance. My knees are pointed outward. I got those Benjamins in my hips. We're not gonna lose those. All right, so baby stepping, starting with the back foot. Baby step, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. When you're moving, if this is my start stance, I don't want my knees to get any shorter than this. If I'm headed in this direction and I'm in my stance here and my back leg moves first, I'm gonna go back leg, front leg. Both of my feet in line with my ears. I'm gonna go back leg, front leg, feet still in line with the ears. This time we're gonna go for some internal and external rotations with the resistance band. What muscle's in charge of external rotation? That ass, the glutes. So, we're gonna get that band just above our knees. We're gonna get our solid base again. Toes pointed slightly outward. You're, again, got them Benjis in hands. Put those in the crease of your hips. Now, I want you to kind of prop up on your toes, the ball of your foot, actually just a little bit, and pretend you have a thick ass piece of gum that you're trying to get off the bottom of your foot. But let's say this is some like super duper sticky gum, so it's really hard to move. So I'm in my stance, Benji's in my hips, pushing my knees out. I'm gonna raise my heel off the floor just a little bit. So if I turn to the side, raise my heel off the floor just a little bit, keeping my knees pointed outward. The gum is on the bottom of my foot. I'm gonna try to get it off by slowly internally rotating my foot. Then I'm gonna externally rotate. Internal rotation, external rotation. So you see how my foot is barely even rotating, but I still get this slight movement in my knee? That's what you want to create. Now what you don't want to do is this here. We don't want this. We don't want that valgus with that forceful external rotation. Remember, it's a thick ass, strong ass piece of gum, keeping your foot attached to the floor so you can barely move. So all that friction from the bottom of your foot and the floor, that should be preventing you from getting a lot of rotation in there. So I'm in my position. I got my Benjis ready, my $200, cha-ching, right here in the crease. I'm gonna raise my heel just a little bit. I'm gonna get that gum off the bottom of my foot just a little bit, squeeze it, externally rotate, internally rotate, externally rotate. As you see, when my right knee is moving, my left knee is still stable. This leg sits in this position the entire time. I'm still in my squat stance, holding my Benjis. Don't forget that. My leg is not moving on this side. So, Benji's in place, leg is in place. Prop up on that heel just a little bit, or off that heel just a little bit. Internal, external. Internal, external. You will feel that in your booty cheek. I feel it right now. I'm tired. But that takes care of your banded marching, your forward marching, your sideways marching, and your internal and external rotations. So with all that, let's keep our glutes nice and awake as best as we can, as often as we can. Let's get those glutes nice and strong. Let's get some endurance in there so that we can hold it for longer, keep pushing through. And let's get that ass right. You know we got summer around the corner, you feel me? Bikini season. Boop, boop.